you want to have. People pour that on him. You talk about him being at the camp instead of going to play in the World Juniors with the Leafs. Like, this kid loves to get better, and you can definitely tell that he looks different this year. It's mostly, for me, it's a pop in the stride, looks a little stronger on his skates, and definitely better around his own zone. Like, not obviously he's never going to be a defensive stalwart, but he made a couple
good ones tonight
reads,
in that regard. Good reads, good plays with the stick.
If you're an offensive winger, you don't have to be a Selke candidate, but just be responsible in your own zone. Make a good read here and there. He's quick with his stick. I was just impressed from what I saw with him. I'm not going to get bent out of shape about one game, but man, he looked a hell of a lot better tonight than I've ever seen him look in any other game I've watched him play.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I love that he does it in the same game that his brother's in.
For sure.
He does it.
Lifetime of bragging rights. I just beat the piss out of you in front of mom and dad in my barn. You didn't even have a point tonight.
Mama and Papa. You know what he is? He's in the movie Freddie Got Fingered. Like, I only see one LeBaron, Freddie.
Only Nick goes to post-game dinner
LeBaron tonight. Yeah, Nick gets to ride shotgun tonight. Yeah. Nick gets to pick the radio station on the way home. Everything's coming up Nicky. Little Nicky is riding high. A couple things. So I was mentioning how he ends up getting sent down, right? I didn't like the decision. You understand that Dubas has whatever. He really likes Malkin. All right. He likes him enough that he traded for him. He likes him enough to go get him out of the Swiss League. He likes him enough to make sure he doesn't go through waivers. Part of me thinks that Dubas just absolutely hates how much the Leafs get plucked from waivers. And he couldn't handle the thing, right? He couldn't handle it. But I don't think the decision was that bad of a one. But one underrated thing that doesn't get discussed enough about the Dubas tenure is that the Leafs have not developed young studs on cheap contracts to play around the core.
To plug the holes.
Never. It's always been the same formula of guys who are, all right, the Pierre Engvall is basically the only guy that I can think of that was like a system guy that came up, other than like obviously the guys that were part of the core. I view Hyman as like a post part of the core. Since then, who's come up? Who's come up from like the draft and development system, right? Sandin, this is
Hall.
Hall, but Hall was an older player too.
Yeah.
Hall was like a lottery ticket guy.
Listen, your point is well made. Like, you can continue. I completely understand where you're coming from here.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that they're desperate to hit on a couple of guys that can play up front for them, like Robertson and Nyes, maybe later in the year. Right. So I like that it takes a little pressure off Nyes if this guy can play in the top six, even though they're completely different players. But I also just like seeing a guy that people have had expectations for work his ass off and get an opportunity in the lineup. And it sucks because you have to wonder, when would he have gotten this opportunity if it wasn't for the Murray injury?
Oh, he'd still be rotting on the bus on the way to Rochester, pal.
Yeah.
He'd still be rotting.
Yeah, he's looking for his 2 points against the Americans tonight.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You saw that video of Dubas snapping, saying some foul words when
what a potty mouth up there with his dirty mouth. Yeah, bad
on you.
No, niche. No,
but I will say that's the same reaction he has when he has to put on Malkin on waivers next week. He's like,
Dude, honestly, if I was another Leaf hanging around the organization, I'd be worried about like a falling piano or something like that, because he does not want to waive that guy. The good news is he doesn't have to for a while, right? They can carry the extra forward. You know who the loser in this game was, I thought? Maybe. We'll see. I wonder if Wayne Simmons draws in Saturday. Like, this is going to be my little prediction here. I think that they go with Simmons on Saturday, because the fourth line was nothing again. And Stewie was talking about it during the first intermission, and I thought the point was well made. Like, where was the energy? And yeah, whatever. You want to cry about fighting, fine, cry about fighting. But Leafs, they found energy in a different way. But all I could think about in that first period with the fourth line is, this is where your fourth line is supposed to give you a little bit of a lift, and all they did was kind of sewer them. For me, like, the guy that Dubas, like, Malkin is fine. He was a no-risk proposition. Why'd you give Obel $1 million? What does Obel do? Like, this guy,
I don't know.
Every shift, I'm locked in on this guy going, do a thing, man. Do a thing, and I'll praise you if you can just do one thing. Nothing. No. So far, every game I've seen of this guy, complete nothing. Anyway, let's stick with the positives. Nick
Yeah,
Robertson.
we don't need to get bogged down to the fourth line too much, but yeah, I agree with everything you just said there. It's hard to really, if you're gonna do nothing, at least run somebody in the boards or maybe start a fight or something. Like,
yeah,
I mean, if we want to talk about the conversation of Ben, or was it Ben that cross-checked Matthews tonight?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody got all bent out of shape about it. I'm not saying he doesn't do that if Wayne Simmons is in the lineup, but it's obviously something that they would think about. It'd be, he would think twice before just taking pot shots at the superstars.
I gotta tell you, I thought the cross check was pretty minor.
For sure, he just caught him in the sweet spot. It was nothing bad. He just caught him in the sweet spot. That's all that happened.
That to me was not like a dirty play. I saw Leafs Twitter. It's hard. I've been having a tough time being on Twitter watching these games. I'm trying to be a purist and just go like pure me. I don't want to get the taints.
Watch 2005 Leafs, where you just like watched it and just had your own thoughts and didn't worry about what anybody else thought.
Didn't care about the groupthink or whatever. Sometimes I'll fire off a tweet and I'm like, why'd I even do that? Who cares? Anyway, the two Robertson goals were both pretty though, eh? Like the first one was gorgeous. And
I
the
have
second
to give credit.
one,
the credit goes to Bunting, who made an excellent play off the half boards, gets in deep, and he just kind of backhand no looks it. And listen, Robertson's got that knack, right, where he goes to the right spots, and when it lands on his stick, listen, if he doesn't score that one, it's his calling card. Like it's on the stick in the slot with a chance to shoot it over the low blocker. It's in the sweet spot, but he finished it. I love the pass from Bunting. So it's nice to see, man. They need that pop. They've needed something to come into the lineup and just shake things up and have things look a little bit different. And maybe he can be that sort of shake up. Maybe he can be that little pop. No?
Well, no, I think that he definitely could be that. The other thing too is, again, he's a guy who showed up desperate to make the NHL. He's a guy who right now is not going to be jaded by playing in the show. He is going to be scratching and clawing to make sure that he maintains his spot. He's going to stay hungry. And I just can't think that that's not a great thing to have right now in that top six, is a guy who can clearly finish like we saw tonight. You're right. Good plays by Matthews, good plays by Bunting to set him up, right? But finishers, man. You want to have finishers. And this kid appears to be that. He's on a cheap-ass deal right now. You're not worried about any type of salary cap implication. He has a couple of years to grow with some guys that you don't think are going to be going anywhere anytime soon, barring, like, again, an utter calamity, an utter collapse again in the first round. I'm having a hard time seeing the negatives, or even just, I shouldn't say the negatives, because that's just like even a bozo assessment. It's the ultimate straw man, but there's just a lot of upside to the Robertson storyline right now. And so for him to come in and do that tonight was massive, especially since, like, man, that first period, that intermission, it felt pretty dark. It felt pretty dark. I wanted to know what
boys, we're back.
The pee-pee whack boys needed some pee-pee whacking in that intermission. But I thought, man, what is Keefe gonna say after these last 3 days of Keefe just like taking his own grave? Dude, Keefe, I can't remember a coach in any time in my life just grabbing a shovel and they're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm just digging my own grave," and people are going like, "Do you want to stop?" He's like,
"You can't stop.
I gotta keep going. I want a deep grave." I couldn't believe it. And then he just finally pulled the card, which was the perfect card to pull today, which was
idiots.
It's a mob at the media. It's prepping them for you guys. Like, okay, fine. Like, he pulled the Donald Trump. He was just like, it's all the media. It's still blue. It's all fake news.
Because I work with Kipper and Borney. I cut all the clips for a show and I was obviously in the middle of this for the past couple of days. And I get to work today, start listening to the clips, and I'm like, oh, we're doing this again today? Like, can we just maybe say, I've had enough, let's move on? The guy talks for 13 he talks for 13 minutes a day. He talked for 13 minutes this morning. It's just too long. Like, you're eventually going to say something stupid if you're talking for 13 minutes a day. You can't, you just talk less. Actually, don't talk less. You're biting the hand that feeds me here. Don't talk less, but I still.
All I have to say about the Keefe thing, I'm going to close it. I'm going to get off of it because we're going to move to that period, this is a guy who in the Amazon series, in the very first episode of the season, right? The regular season, I think it was Matthews that said some nothing thing.
It was like about opening it up. Remember?
Yeah.
He was like, we're playing a little too bogged down. It'd be nicer to play opened up a little bit or whatever. It was something like a stupid comment that didn't matter.
A comment that no one's latching on to. Like, not a soul. And Keefe goes right into Kyle Dubas's office and complains about it and tries to get Matthews to walk it back and talks about the messaging, about being on the same page. Dude, I can tell you right now, as a fully fledged member of talking about the Leafs media on a daily basis, I think Sheldon Keefe cares way more than a lot of us do. Like, we care about the performance of the team. This guy created this entire story. He lit his own fire and he watched it burn.
Self-inflicted wound, man.
Dude, he lit that fire. And actually, this is the perfect analogy. I wish we could have this. You know the movie Orange County, where Jack Black starts the
Saw
fire?
it when I was a kid.
Jack Black starts a fire and he just watches it burn because he's a pyro, and then it burns down the entire admissions office. And Jack Black walks out of the building in his underwear. He's like looking around, and Ben Stiller comes up to him and he says, "What happened here?" He's like, "I don't know. It's a fire. It must have been electrical fire." It's like, that was Sheldon Keefe after that media conference. Just, I don't know. So that's what he said. Media. He was like, it was an electrical fire. I don't know.
Is Bunkis frozen here? I feel like he has frozen. Am I toe tapping here? Yeah, I think as I look at my computer here, it looks like Bunkis is frozen. He's got a big smile on his face. The screenshot right now is incredible. Yeah, so I liked in overtime tonight when it was the 4-on-3 power play or whatever it was. Matthews, Marner, Tavares, and Nylander. And to me, that's something that he probably does anyway. I'm not going to lie. It's not something that he's like thinking about narratives mid-game. But I do love the fact that he was like, oh yeah, my elite players are supposed to be elite. I'm going to put them out there. And he did it. And it didn't end in a goal at that point. They got some good chances. And then Robertson scores the overtime winner. If I could just get a text from somebody to say that we're still on. I don't know if I'm frozen or I'm still talking here. Anyways, yeah, looks like it's just me here. Okay, so I can see my face. I am still live. Something else that Bunkis and I were going to talk about was the play of Rasmus Sandin. So it's a big opportunity for him, right? With Muzzin going out, and who knows how long he's going to be out. Keefe was talking about how he is fine, and Mitch Marner seemed to be kind of retiring him with concussions. So I'm not sure which side of the ledger to land on there. But big opportunity for Sandin to step up into that second pair with Justin Hall tonight. And I have to say, I was pretty impressed. I was pretty critical of him heading into this season with the way that he kind of held out, I guess you would call it, or I'm not sure exactly how you would say it, but he signed a contract late in the preseason after holding out for kind of no reason. He ends up signing the exact same contract as Timothy Liljegren, 1.4 for a couple of years. And it's funny. I was kind of worried about him with the start, slow start coming out of camp, as one does when you kind of play late. It always seems to affect these guys, and it seemed it was affecting Rasmus for the first couple games of the regular season. Thought he looked a couple steps behind, but tonight with some elevated minutes, an elevated role, I really thought that he looked good tonight. I really thought that he had the ability to step in and just kind of play well. Played physical. I didn't think his gap control was as bad as it's been in nights before. Seemed to have some chemistry with are you back? Am I looking at JD yet? I can see him on my screen. He's got a look on his face like he's perturbed. I'm going to continue to talk here. Oh, you're back. What's up, bro? How are you?
I'm back.
The wartime billing sucked you up again?
Yeah, it's a stupid little internet brick out situation. Like, of course, everything's going hunky dory. We're smooth sailing here.
I was cooking up a narrative. I don't know if you want to hear it. It's hard for so in overtime, right? It's the 4-on-3 power play in overtime, and Keefe throws out his 4 big boys to start the 4-on-3. And I know that's something that he would probably do anyway, but in my narrative brain, I was like, oh, he's sending them out there. Your elite players have to be elite players. And he sends out the 4 big boys, and they didn't cash. How do you think? What do you think? Overthink or narrative?
It's probably just that's what he wants to do.
He would have done it.
Like, that gives him the best chance to win. It wasn't bad.
Okay,
anyway,
I was sitting here with no idea how long you're going to be gone. I had to cook something up.
Yeah. Hey, listen. The worst part about this is like I was actually kind of almost ready to wrap up here because I was like, hey, listen, we touched on Keefe. I think it was a massive win for this team. Winning covers things up, man, for this team. And I'm sorry, but the wins aren't going to count as much as the losses for these guys this year, right? Like when they lose bad, they're going to get hammered, and when they win, most people are going to be like, "Good, you're supposed to win. You're a good team. You're a cup contender." Blah blah blah. Had they won tonight in a different way, in a greasy way, I think that people would have gone like, you beat Wedgwood and whatever and blah, blah, blah. No, man. Stars bought a lot of tickets for a lot of their friends and family tonight.
6 Ontario boys.
Leafs had a horrific. They dogged it in the first. I was genuinely terrified whether or not it was a Marner Matthews coach killing game. Like that's how bad they were in the first. I went, oh my God, they're trying to kill the coach. Like this is it. They want him gone. And then they came out in the second period and they had pushed and they dominated the second. They dominated the third. I thought that Samsonov, God damn it. It's impossible. Good night. Yeah, he was good. He was solid. Quiet in the net, did his job, made the saves he needed to make, made a couple that were in tight and in close that were a little spooky. Spooky season. It's Halloween. He's making saves, not making me feel so spooked. I just thought it was a good performance in the second and third. Crappy one to start it. But Robertson saved their ass from a narrative standpoint because he was the only guy that could really completely take the Leafs out of the whole Sheldon Keefe hole that he made. And he just showed up with the fire extinguisher. He showed up with the fire trucks. He put the fire out, and Sheldon was standing there like Jack Black in his underwear in Orange County going like, thank you, buddy. Like,
I have a couple more things for you before we wrap up. First thing I wanted to, we didn't talk about the goal review.
Oh, yeah.
I thought obvious goal.
Same.
You too?
Buddy, like, again, I went to Twitter because I wanted to check, and in classic Twitter fashion.
Oh, we got the highlight.
Yeah, when everybody is mad about something, then I usually think that they're wrong.
So see, we got the highlight here.
Yeah,
and
pull it up.
It is playing right now. To me,
yeah, I see it.
To me, before because I think he did push off a little bit, Sagan, but when I'm looking at it, that puck was going in the net regardless of the push off or not. The way the puck was already rolling, it was heading towards the net to me. I understand why it took them so long, but ultimately I think they got the call right. Like it's a 50-50 puck. Marner's in the blue, Sagan's in the blue. The puck was going in the net before that push off happened to me. So fine with that call. People were bent out of shape, but I had no problem with that.
I don't really have anything to add other than, he doesn't touch the goalie. He touches the player. Did you watch, what game was it? It was the football game, the Monday Night Football game. You probably weren't awake for the end of it.
No, I did. I actually watched that whole game. Yeah, I did.
Where you watched the overtime?
Yeah, where he pushed the guy into the fair catcher. Yeah.
And your brain goes, that's unfair. Like he touched the guy and it's not. That's not what the penalty is. And I thought the same thing with this goal review is like he doesn't cause a penalty to push Marner into the goalie. Like it's not something where you go, oh, what a dirty play for him to do that. Is incidental contact, and like you said, with the rest of it, the puck's already going in the net. I don't know why people cried about it. People were going like, last I checked, you can't check the goalie. I saw a lot of those.
It's the classic. It's the classic argument is the definitive nature. Is it definitive enough to overturn? And I thought it was. Some people didn't think it was. That's the argument. I thought it was a goal. When it happened, the first look I saw, I was like, oh, that should count. And it did.
The first look was the one where I was so shocked that they waved it off. I went, what did I really miss here? Because I didn't think I saw it. Anyway.
Also, we see eye to eye on it, so there's not a whole lot to debate here. But it was I thought it was a clear goal, and they got it right. And they ended up winning anyway, so it's a moot point. But I wanted to get your take.
They got it. It's just that this is now 2 reviews that have gone against the Leafs in a row. That's why I think
the Riley thing was 10 times worse than this.
No, but that was wrong.
Yeah, that was wrong. There's no comparison between these two things.
Anyway, I thought it's like, honestly, this is a really weird Leafs game. Because, again, that first period was so bad. The second and third were solid. It was a weird night for Matthews, like before the play, before the pass. Like
he's hesitant to fire it.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Still, like the even strength points are not piling up for the kid. Giordano, near escape of an injury. Do you have any thought? Yeah, I know. He fell down. Gave Dallas a penalty for it, but it didn't really look like it was a penalty.
Scary.
Yeah, it was a very scary play. Glad he got up. Hope he's okay. Maybe we'll get a little bit more info on that after the game. But thought Sandin was pretty good. Thought Mete was pretty forgettable. And like, boy, that's why you're not in the NHL. Like, it's kind of performance.
So I wanted to just quickly circle Sandin. I was rambling on a little bit about him there before you got on. Can we have the power play conversation? Is it too soon?
Too soon.
They were 1 for 8 tonight, man.
No, but you know what? You know what isn't too soon?
Right. Like, I love Morgan Riley, and he's such a great contributor to this team, and he rushes the puck so beautifully, he skates so beautifully. He does so many great things with for the Leafs. But the way he handles the puck, this is one of Borny and I's hobby horses. We talk about this every day when we're prepping for the show, is the way he dusts it off at the top constantly. Yeah. He doesn't move it quick enough, and he doesn't have a hard enough, decisive enough shot to get it to the net. To me, they've already done it once with him, where they put Sandin in the bubble when he was a kid. They put him on the top power play unit. If you got the true serum, or you got the what I actually want to do serum and poured it into Sheldon Keefe, he would be putting Sandin top power play unit. To me, it's going to happen this year.
I don't think you do it right now, especially considering how good the power play was last year with Morgan Riley running it.
But it's been bad to start the year.
It has been bad to start the year.
Now's the perfect time to start thinking about it. It really is.
So what I truly believe is that now with Robertson in the lineup and Sandin running power play too, kind of have a power play. You have
like a real threat on two. That's not a bad point. It's not a bad point.
Now you sort of have, like, when the other guys came and listen, they scored tonight. Why? Because Sandin filtered one through and Kerfoot got to pick up a cookie. Like I'm a big believer in load
by
up.
The idea of him
for
in the
sure.
top unit though.
You and I are of the same mold where we both like it where there's basically one power play and the other guys are there to pick up the scraps. Like, you're there to be the scrap pickers, the main guys. Like, I've had zero problem with the guys being greedy piggies and being on the ice for like the full 2 minutes in a lot of these.
The piglets have been hot.
Oh yeah, they've been like they've been pigging out. Like, they've been pigging out, and they haven't really been doing anything with it. But like,
looking like you and me at Osmos, bud. Just pigging out.
Buddy. Just yeah, it's just you want the large? Duh. Like,
no, I want the small, idiot.
Yeah, go back there, you idiot. Give me a free one for saying a dumb thing, you bozo. Go back there and give me a large Osmos now. Fries, put some in. Sticks. I like sticks. It doesn't sound like you're as much of a fatso. You're just like, I like sticks.
You're back to sticks? Rocks all day, pal.
No, buddy, I'm obviously on the rocks, but the special treat is when you mix in the half and half.
I've never done double down.
You're out of your mind. That's the only way to live.
I don't go rocks. Anyways, these are too many free ads.
Sticks, sorry, half rocks, half sticks.
Yeah, anyway, Osmos.
Yeah. Oh, please, come on, for the boys. Last thing, the retro jerseys, they come out. To me, it's hilarious because it's just, they're the Leafs. If they deviate too far from the retros,
those are nice.
Dude, you know why they're nice? They're Leafs jerseys.
Because they're Leafs jerseys. Oh,
yeah, they are. I like the Leafs jerseys. I have always liked the Leafs jerseys. I've always liked the sweater. Yeah, all right, fine. There's a white.
The white shoulders are nice. The white. Hey, I'm Jersey guy. You can listen. I'm Jersey guy. I own more jerseys than you.
But I have better taste than you, and I'm fashionable.
Yeah. Listen. You did look good at my wedding, so
yeah,
you looked hot.
Yeah, that's right.
But
look at my hair and look at your hair. You see
I should have worn a hat. God damn
it! You tell me.
I knew it was a bad hair day. You catfished me into not wearing a hat.
I wore a hat all day today before I got a cut too. I was in the fuzz zone. I was bleak. If you look at my videos from my show, I've been wearing a hat for like a week and a half. My barber, I got in there today. He's like, bro, I saw you on Instagram. I knew it was time for you to come in and get a cut. I was like,
so, I just want to say that the Leaf is gorgeous. Oh, it's gone now. But the Leaf is gorgeous, and I like the white shoulders. I think the white shoulders are unique, and I don't know if the Leafs have ever done that before. Have they ever had white shoulders? I think that's unique. I don't think it's one of the best of all the ones that got released. I think it's nice. I think it's going to be a good look on ice, and they didn't, bung it up like they did with the last one. So I'm impressed with it. I give it a solid 7.5, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, it's solid. I like it. As someone who went against the Bieber jersey because they went too far and they messed with the classic, and you love the Bieber jersey?
No, I like the Bieber jersey, but one of my worst zags of all time was trying to pretend that I liked the reverse retro, the original one. It was a tough zag. I was trying to be Mr. It was a bad one by me.
The black one?
No, the one with the gray.
Yeah, no, that sucked too. That one was real bad. I
like the black one. The black one's cool for a one-off little.
The black one was fine. No, but this is my thing. Is you're in a tough spot when you have a classic jersey because anything you do too much, people go, what the hell? You ruined the classic jersey.
Well,
and then
like the Celtics on opening night wearing Bucks jerseys.
Yeah. So I like those. Those are like Notre Dame. But these ones are fine. Like I like them. They're clean. They're crisp. I like the white version more. The only thing that makes me think, though, is with the white shoulders, when I used to play NHL, is if you ever had a team with like the double white shoulders, it was like harder to play the game. And I thought exactly somebody's going to try to play these on a NHL game, and it's going to suck for whoever has to play the experience. Anyway, the nicest one, we both agree, is Pittsburgh. It's like, but the Penguins, it's a cheat code. It's a cheat code because those are the nicest sweaters maybe in all of pro sports in general to work off of. And so it's like you throw the old Mario.
Are undeniable. The colors are so beautiful.
Nice. So nice. Just works so perfect with hockey. Like it's sexy, man. That's the best one. What's weird though is like I actually don't like the Steelers uniforms, and like yellow usually doesn't really move me in any kind of way, but there's just something about the Penguins, like everything about it. The logo is clean, the sweater is perfect. Everything about that.
I'm envious of them for all their teams being the same colors. I love that.
Yeah, I know, it's such a cool
I wish
thing.
I wish Toronto had
winning
that
a
too.
championship ruined it. They were going to be the Huskies, and then they won the We the North happened, and it got hot. It was hot in the streets, and then they were paralyzed. Yeah. It's the only downside to the Raptors getting good is that it ruined being the Huskies.
So nice. Oh,
so much better than Raptors.
Oh, 10 times out of 10.
It's infinity better. It's a classic basketball name. It's like way more representative of like 100%. The North, which we like are here in Toronto compared to the rest of the NBA.
That Pens uni is so nice.
Anyways. The one that's controversial between you and I like Detroit. You don't like Detroit.
Oh, Detroit? I think. Yeah. Listen,
how do you say Detroit? Why do you say it like a bozo?
Do I say it weird?
Detroit.
How do I say it? Detroit. Well, how do you say it?
Detroit. Yeah.
Detroit.
No, that's you. Dude, that's like how Ennis says hot dog, like he's hutting a football. Like he's like, you got a hot dog? Yeah, I'm like, what's wrong with you? You were raised in this country.
I don't mind that. Now that I look at it more, it's okay. It's not terrible. I like that. I like that old school one that they had, so I don't mind that. But of all the ones that are released, I would say that's in the bottom half. But I don't mind that Detroit one. Something a little Detroit.
You did it, Detroit.
Hot dog.
Yeah, hot dog in Detroit. The one I hate the most is the Rangers, just because I love this Rangers logo. It's one of the coolest logos. It's such an awesome, and it just feels like it's you know what it reminds me of? Leafs pajama jerseys. It's just it's a pajama jersey. This is a giant tiger look. Like this is not what you want, right? This is fine if you're getting it for your kid, but this is not a good look. They blew it. It's just this is the biggest like the Predators one sucks. It's ugly, right? It's the hot mustard with the ugly Predator, but it's like, yeah, you're the Predators. Of course you're gonna have the ugly one.
A couple things though, a core value of a jersey is to have stripes at the bottom because it just stretches it out if it doesn't have it.
That's what I'm saying. Pajamas. At the
bottom. My beer league team has got new jerseys with that logo but zigzags, so I'm really excited to put those on.
I know that's very nice.
Yeah,
trying to check my notes to see if there's anything else to discuss. Any more business?
Anything left? No, I'm just happy, man. I gotta say that was a game that makes me feel happy. Like I may throw on the old Leafs hat on the way to work tomorrow. That one made me feel good. It did.
All right.
And you gotta look for because this team, you know what they'll do on Saturday night. Who they play the Jets on Saturday night. You know that's a letdown spot. They'll be a letdown spot, but it's nice to enjoy this one for a couple days. That was a nice win, and Robertson, good for him.
Yeah. If you want to listen to more, listen to the JD Bunkis podcast. That's my show. Tomorrow, I'll obviously be talking about this. I have James Reimer on this week. It's gonna
that's cool.
Chop it up with James. I'm trying to get Curtis McElhaney too. I'm big on the goalie talk right now with the Leafs. Right, like I got a lot.
Buddy, goalies are a untapped. Like if they're the best radio guests by far. On Kipper and Borney, we have goalies on all the time. Like they are just
good ones.
They really are a lot of good ones.
Steve is on with
Amazing.
Merrick. Yeah,
Amazing.
Really great, really thoughtful.
We had him on
guy.
earlier this year. McKenna's excellent. Like there's so many good goalies that talk about goaltending. So go ahead. You're a goalie and you're good at talking. So
no, I'm done. Both of us, subscribe to the JD Bunkis podcast. Subscribe to this podcast. If the audio is fixed, go back and fix the ratings. All right. We got hammered by some of you guys with the ratings. All right. Didn't appreciate that.
God, it's like, you can't have any errors in like the first two shows, a brand new show. Like people just breathing down your neck.
All the Roger and Eberts out there, just like not just hammering the boys with that 1 stars because of the audio. The audio better be fixed tonight. If the audio is all glitched out, I'm gonna have a meltdown. Like we're good.
We're good.
All
tonight.
right.
And guess what? And on Real Kipper and Born tomorrow at 4:15. Yours truly, JD Bunkis, joining the fellas as well. As a
Yeah, I
little
can't
prop.
wait.
So,
Although this is the only part that bums me out a little bit about them being
What?
good tonight. I just had like,
you wanted the crap fest tomorrow, eh?
no. I just, you know how I like to get Kipper all fired up.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I like to get Kipper going and just, try to, and now I don't know what to do, like how to get him. Maybe I'll go complete zag on him and just be like, hey, Kipper, this
Marner's
is proof.
having a tough go.
Yeah, Marner, that was a bad penalty in the first on Mitch, eh? Like he was struggling out there. I don't know. If you're using your stick like that, maybe you lost a step, Kipper.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Maybe I'll do something like that. I got to get Kipper fired up in one way or the other. That's the best way to get it going. So I just need new things to get under Kipper's skin.
You're all good, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was Leafs Talk. Subscribe, review, share it, do all those things. Get in the comments. Let us know. And we will catch you Saturday night. All right? Saturday night.
Jets.
Oh.
Sneaky rivalry. Oh, what do you got?
Well, PSA is we're not doing it on YouTube on Saturdays right now. We're just doing it. We actually have a couple PSAs. This is a weird one. I just realized that we're not going to be on YouTube for a little while because we're going to knock out the Saturday night show only on Sportsnet now. They're trying to push us to Sportsnet now and get you to be watching Sportsnet now. So do that, all right, if you like seeing this. It's pretty simple. I got the code for it today, knocked it down, took me 2 minutes. Monday and Wednesday, listen, if you leave, let's say we get, I'll say 50, all right? 50 comments and 5-star reviews in the podcast page. Comments, 5 stars with comments that you liked it. Then we'll go on YouTube. We'll go on YouTube at night, and we'll do the late night, the Monday night after the whatever game. It's the Golden Knights, and then Thursday's Sharks. Those are 10 and 10:30 bangers. All right, we're gonna do reactionary podcasts so that they were up in the feed for the next day. But we'll go live, and we'll do them if there's 50 5-star reviews on the iTunes page, and there's 100 5-star reviews on Spotify. Then we'll do live, and we'll do it there. But there's got to be the comments on iTunes, all right? There's got to be nice comments. There's got to be nice things. Otherwise, no bleeping deal.
No meanies, okay?
Oh, you leave the meanies, you're dead. If you leave the meanies, I'm going to have the cries. I'm not ready.
Little Sammy can't take the meanies.
No, I don't want to see the meanies, all right? I don't want to see the meanies out there. Anyway, so you put those reviews in, you do those subscriptions, you do those shares, and we'll see you on Monday night. If not, you'll get some podcasts in the feed, and that's better than nothing, I guess. It's Leafs Talk. I'm JD Bunkis and Sam McKee. We'll talk to you soon. See ya.